Hi, my name is Fayaz. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. In this video, we would like to talk to you regarding PowerPivot and Power Query. If you are an Excel user, you need to explore these options of PowerPivot and Power Query. They are inbuilt in Excel 2016. In Excel 2013 or Excel 2010, you have to install them as add-ins. They are available as add-ins. But starting 2016, they are available inbuilt in Microsoft Excel. In this video, I would like to show you the advantages of using these particular tools for advanced data analytics. Let me talk to you regarding Power Query. Let me give you a simple case study. Let's say if you have sales data for the last 6 months and you want to create a pivot table, and this 6 months data is in 6 different sheets. Generally, what would you do? You would do a VLOOKUP, you would consolidate all this data together, and then you would go and create a pivot table to analyze the data together. This process could be done with one click. With one click, you could append all these different books together and you could create a pivot table. Yes, that is the advantage of Power Query. I will be showing you case studies later in this video, which case studies we would be teaching you in the Power Query program. Regarding Power Pivot, if you simply Google on the internet that how much data can you store in a Power Pivot model, you will get the number. You can store millions of records. The limitation of Excel is that you can store only 1 million records in one sheet, whereas when you start using Power Pivot, you can work with millions of records. Yes, it is possible to work with millions of records even in Excel. You need to use Power Pivot. Now, Power Pivot and Power Query is available in Excel. At the same time, it is also there in Power BI. I will be talking about this a little later on. First, coming back to Power Pivot. Now, for example, let's say if you have data for products, and if you have data, let's say for suppliers, the product information will be in the products table, the supplier information will be in the supplier table. Generally, what would you do? You would look for the common column, you would do a VLOOKUP, get the data together, and then go and do a VLOOKUP, and then go and create a pivot table. Now, the same thing can be done by just by one click. You do not need to write any VLOOKUP. You simply create a relationship. Yes, if you have already worked with databases, this particular term would sound very similar to you. You build a relationship between these two tables, and only by one click you can basically go and create a pivot table where you get data from multiple sheets or multiple data models together. So the product information is in the products table, the supplier information in the suppliers table. You simply created a relationship between them, and you could get which product has been sold by which supplier. And the most important part, how good you are going to be in Excel BI or in Power BI is how good you are also going to be in DAX. You have to invest time in DAX. Now, in simple, what is DAX? DAX is not a programming language. It says it's called a formula language. Now, in very simple, I can explain you what DAX is. I'm asking you a question. Would you agree with me if I tell you that pivot table is one of the most spectacular options you have in Excel? I change the conversation. Suppose you can start writing a formula to a pivot table. Just imagine what kind of data analysis you can do. Or let's say if you try to write a formula language specifically for a pivot table. Now, using DAX, you can create complex data analytics. For example, there are inbuilt functions like, for example, if you have data over a period of time and you want to check your current year data compared to your last 3 years, and you want to create an analysis. All these kind of analysis, these analytics you can create using DAX. So I would urge you, spend some time, invest in DAX. If you are using Excel, you're using Excel 2013 or 2016 or any version above 2010, you should invest in DAX. We will also show you what case studies we have. Now, Power Pivot, Power Query and DAX, you have them available in Excel. At the same time, you also have them available in Power BI, which means the same knowledge which you have in Excel can also be implemented in Power BI. Now, what would I do is, I would quickly show you certain case studies where you can exactly understand what we are teaching you as an institute in Power Query, and some case studies regarding DAX.